I've just gone through a breakup that completely threw me off balance. I molded myself around my ex's interests. How can I rediscover who I am outside of that relationship? You need to focus on pinpointing where that wound occurred. If it was in childhood, focus on healing the inner child and self-love.
I've been dating someone who overanalyzes every little detail. Any tips on how to communicate boundaries while still offering compassion? If you can't handle someone who is an overthinker, then maybe you should rethink everything, because it's not a bad quality. A lot of people are overthinkers.
I was deeply betrayed in my previous relationship, lied to repeatedly. Now I'm in a new relationship with a kind, honest person, but I can't seem to shake off the lingering distrust. How do I break the cycle?
Trust gets earned.
It's not about the words. What do their actions show to you? And it's going to take time.
Hi, everybody. We're coming to you from Astrodipity and Astro Divas. My name is Cassandra, and this is Tasha, and we're saying hello and happy January. We hope that your month has been going good so far. It's a new year. Look at the positives, and this year should be a really, really good year for people. We've got a lot of emails to go through with you today, and we're hoping that you'll come and spend some time with us and maybe comment on our posts. If you would like any information on dating, reach out to us at astrodivas at astrodipity.com. And don't forget to check out Astrodipity, which is an online dating site based on compatibility through synastry. You have to put in your date of birth, your time of birth, your place of birth, get to know yourself. You can choose your Western information, or you can switch to Vedic if you prefer. Then you'll get to know your sun, your moon, your rising, etc. And then you get to see someone else's at the same time. And we are live in the US, and we are currently just starting and moving out through India. And we hope you enjoy everything we've done, because we've done it for everybody, hoping that you can find a deeper connection rather than a superficial one. So on that note, Tasha's going to start off with the emails that we have.
All right. So the first one is reclaiming my identity. It says, Dear Astro Divas, I've just gone through a breakup that completely threw me off balance. During the relationship, I molded myself around my ex's interests, schedule, and even social circle. Now I feel like I've lost my own identity. How can I rediscover who I am outside of that relationship? And is there a healthy way to avoid falling into the same pattern with future partners? I can weigh in on it.
Go for it.
So this sounds to me like a codependent pattern. So what you need to do is, typically codependency starts in childhood, where you had a wound where you didn't feel safe, secure, loved, validated. So what happens when you have this in childhood, you will go on to attract partners that will bring up this wounding. So you will seek validation from that person. You will give away all of your power to that person. So you need to focus on pinpointing where that wound occurred. If it was in childhood, focus on healing the inner child and self-love. That's my recommendation.
It's absolutely true. You tend to carry these things on through adulthood. It becomes part of your character and your core, but you need to be aware of it if you do want to change it. Tasha's absolutely right. It's as simple as that. So, hi, Astro Divas. I've been dating someone who overanalyzes every little detail. Sounds familiar. Whether it's a minor disagreement or a slow text reply, their anxiety can spiral into catastrophic thinking, and our relationship feels weighed down by constant reassurance checks. I want to be supportive, but it's starting to impact my own mental well-being. Any tips on how to communicate boundaries while still offering compassion? Well, it sounds to me like you're a little bit overwhelmed as well due to their anxiety. It could be a double-edged sword kind of thing when you've got somebody who's feeling that way and feeling all these things and overthinks everything. When you're dealing with someone like that, it does make things harder, especially if you're very calm and you're let it go, let it roll off my shoulders. If you're the complete opposite, sounds like you're two different signs. But having a conversation needs to be had. And if you can't handle someone who is an overthinker, because I'm one of those people, then maybe you should rethink everything, because it's not a bad quality. A lot of people are overthinkers. Usually they're the ones who are more devoted, and they just look at everything from all four sides. The way you communicate and the way you think is obviously very, very different. But it should be a natural thing between you both. Offering compassion and understanding the way they are and think should be a very natural thing. And if you're finding it difficult, to me, it just sounds like you might have two very, very different styles of communicating and thinking. And it's something that you have to ask yourself, can you accept or not? And are you okay with that? Because that is the person's makeup. I know it's certainly mine. I treat everything with a sense of urgency. So because I'm like that, because I overthink, that's why I'm able to do what I do. It's not always for the best or in the best interest, but I think everybody has something. So this is something you really have to understand about the person on a deeper level. That's my thought.
I agree with everything you said. The only concern I have is someone needing constant reassurance would indicate a wound, and you can't heal another person. So the open communication is perfect, but that other person that has the wounding, that needs the constant reassurance, is going to have to address that wounding to get better, to get out of that energy.
You see, the reason why I feel like they need constant reassurance is because I feel like they're not feeling heard. That's what I feel. And I feel like they're trying to say, do you hear me? Are you understanding me? And that's why I just don't feel like they have an understanding that they are completely different people.
Right.
And they have a
Maybe
different
they're not compatible.
Exactly.
Right.
Very, very possible.
So the next one is amending a broken heart. Hello, Astro Divas. I was deeply betrayed in my previous relationship, lied to repeatedly. Now I'm in a new relationship with a kind, honest person, but I can't seem to shake off the lingering distrust. Every time something small happens, I fear history repeating itself. How do I break the cycle of suspicion and truly give my new partner a fair chance? I've been through this.
I do want to say something. This is completely normal, though. And if you feel it's not, you are definitely not alone. When you get into a new relationship and you've been through this, it's not instant. You're going to go in and trust someone. Trust has to be earned. Like a house is built, trust gets earned. That's what I mean. To say on this one.
What I would say is be open to allow the person to prove through their actions that they are worthy of your energy. It's not about the words. What do their actions show to you? And it's going to take time. It's going to take time to build that trust, like you said, especially since you went through a really horrible betrayal, because it's human nature to fear that that's going to happen, that someone is going to deceive you again.
Those are your boundaries. That's your guard. That's because there was a lesson in your last relationship. Yeah. You can't expect to be completely 100% trusting of any new relationship, and you shouldn't be. You shouldn't go in just thinking everything's going to be roses. You should pay attention to what's going on, and you should have a little bit of guard, because that's what's protecting you going forward. So don't think it's a horrible thing. It's not, and it's very, very human what you're feeling. Hi, Astro Divas. My life revolves around my career, which I absolutely love, but I'm noticing a pattern where potential partners feel sidelined. They either complain I'm never available or assume I won't commit. I don't want to give up my ambitions, but I do want a more meaningful relationship. Is there a way to balance an intense work life with romance without sacrificing one for the other?
It's going to require compromise. So you can call it a sacrifice, you call it whatever you like, but if you want to have a meaningful relationship, just like your work, you can't give little and expect gains. A relationship's the same way. So you're going to have to schedule into your work life downtime to spend time with a romantic partner, or else it's not going to be a priority. And that's the results you'll receive.
And my question to you is, how much do you want it? Because if everybody's saying that you won't commit or you're never available, maybe they're not the right person for you in the first place. Because I think the right person for you, you'll automatically want to spend more time with them or want to make plans going forward, unless
Right.
it's you who doesn't want it. Yeah.
Right. So the next one is second chance at love with my ex. Oh, buddy. It says, "Hi, Astro Divas. My ex and I parted on somewhat amicable terms a year ago. We recently reconnected by chance, and it's like there's unfinished business between us. We broke up originally because of timing and career conflicts, not because we stopped loving each other. Should I give this another shot, or is going back to an ex always a risky move? Any cosmic wisdom on healing old wounds?" It doesn't sound like it was a relationship that ended tragically. It sounded like right person, wrong time. So I don't see anything wrong with trying to come back together. I just don't. Not in this situation.
I agree. And yes, you can get back together with an ex. You grow and you learn. And as you get older, you've learned through other experiences. So it's very, very possible that if you did get back together, most likely you have unfinished business between you both. And this time it could work, or you could find out, my gosh, I was completely wrong. Anyways, hello, Astro Divas. I'm dating someone who was in a long-term relationship before me, and I constantly feel like I'm competing with their ex's memory. They compare me in small ways, like mentioning how their ex cooked or managed finances better. I'm not sure if it's unintentional or if they're still attached. How can I address these comparisons without sounding insecure or starting an argument?
Well, I can say something about this. This is absolutely intentional. This is an insecure masculine energy that is trying to put you in competition because he doesn't feel worthy of you. So he's going to constantly bring up the ex because he wants you to feel insecure, that you have to fight for his attention. This is a wounded masculine, and I would say run. Run. It really sounds like and smells like a narcissist to me. That's all I'm going to say.
The only other option would be if it's not unintentional, then they might still have feelings for the other person, and you're more of a rebound than you are a relationship, because that person is clearly on their mind.
Exactly.
So once again, like Tasha said, run.
Yeah. The next one is stuck in the middle. Dear Astro Divas, my family thinks I should date someone from our community or of a similar background, but I fell in love with someone completely different culture, different religion. They're an amazing partner, yet my family refuses to accept them. How do I honor my family's concerns while also standing up for my relationship, which makes me genuinely happy? You don't have to please your family. You leave your family to make your own home, your own family. And if your family is not in agreement, well, they're not the one marrying the person, living with the person, or dating the person. So you need to grow up and move out, move on.
You guys.
Energetically, physically, and spiritually. That is over. They did their part. They raised you, and that's it. And so, to be blunt, it's time for you to grow up and fly out of the nest.
Right on.
Yes.
Fly out of the nest.
Yes.
Hi, Astro Divas. My partner and I have been together for 2 years and used to have a healthy sex life. Lately, we've hit a sexless stretch due to stress, schedule conflicts, and maybe just routine. We still love each other, but worry about losing the spark. Is this normal, and how can we rekindle physical intimacy without making it feel forced or awkward? Well, I just want to say quickly that yes, it is normal. We all go through that. All relationships do go through periods of ups and downs. With intimacy, with communication, I mean, there's always going to be work to do. What can you do to rekindle it? Well, make some time for each other, specific time for one another. try to do different things. Try to put aside some time during your busy schedule for one another, and make sure that you are absolutely 100% committed to that, rather than, oh, we should, or why don't we do this? Oh, it's too much effort. You have to make the effort. You have to. And eventually that should come back and kick back in. Usually it's nothing more than that, but we all experience that. That's my
Yeah,
advice.
and the beautiful thing about a relationship that's based on love, it's not a deal breaker when there is a lag of time when you're not intimate, because
Exactly.
it's based off of real spiritual love. So
Right.
to me, that
It
it's
shouldn't be
just
a condition in
no,
the first place.
no,
Zero.
not at all.
Yeah.
No. All right, dating someone with different life goals, stay or walk away. Hello, Astro Divas. I'm a spontaneous adventurer who dreams of traveling and living in new places. My partner is a homebody who values stability, a permanent home, and a predictable routine. We love each other deeply, but can't seem to reconcile these opposing visions for our future. Do we compromise, or is this fundamental mismatch eventually going to tear us apart? Can you compromise? I mean, if you can compromise, because it sounds like you're from two different worlds. And so if you really truly love each other, then there won't be any compromise that's too big. You will make it work.
And
So,
there's two things that are fundamental in a relationship, and that's having the same moral values. So your core values are the same, and wanting the same things in the future. If you don't want the same things in the future, there's no reason to even continue. Period. Point blank. There is no reason. That doesn't change down the line. It can, but it's very, very rare. If you're the type who wants to get married, or it can change over time, but your fundamental wants are very, very important. If you want to retire in a different country, you guys have to be on the same page. In this case, there has to be a compromise. And if you're not willing to compromise, then there is no point. That's what's going to make or break your relationship.
yeah, I agree.
Dear Divas, I keep turning down potential matches because I feel like they don't check all my boxes, from appearance to personality traits to lifestyle. My friends say I'm being too picky and might miss out on a great partner. Is it wrong to have a long list of must-haves, or should I focus on core values and give people more of a chance?
I don't think you should lower your standards. I think you should stick with what's important to you. Now, obviously, if you're being petty, the small things, like I only want a man that has curly hair, and the man that has straight hair, I'm not giving him a chance. That's different. But I think the most important qualities, I think you should stick with that. That's my opinion.
I think it never happens the way you expect. I think if you're one of the, 1 in 100 lucky people to meet someone who is exactly what you want, good for you. I'm
Right.
really, really happy for you. But I think it never happens that way. Usually it's something about their character, or something they say, or something they like, that makes you think, oh my gosh, I actually like this person. I think if you walk around with a checklist, um, I don't exactly agree with that. I don't think love comes based on a checklist of whether somebody is 5'8" and 300 pounds. I think you fall in love with a person's soul and character. However, men are different from women. Looks are what attracts them first. Women are different. We fall in love with what we hear. Men fall in love with what they see. That's the first attraction. But if that works for you, then keep on doing that. But I do agree with your friends. You're potentially leaving out a really, really good partner by just expecting, no, they've got to dress this way and act this way and walk this way and have this career. I do agree with your friends. So.
All right. So the next one is, why am I so terrified to ask someone out? Hi, Astro Divas. I'm very shy, and the thought of asking someone out gives me major anxiety. I'm constantly afraid of being rejected or laughed at, so I end up not trying at all. This has led to me staying single for years, even though I crave companionship. How can I build up the courage to take risks in dating and not let rejection define me? So I'm assuming this is a masculine
Oh, me
energy.
too. I was thinking the same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So why why fear asking someone out? Why not just don't use the words, will you go out with me? Just be yourself and meet new people and strike up conversations. How are you? What do you like? Why does it have to be the question, will you go out with me? Why can't you just naturally get to know someone and see what happens? I think he's putting pressure on himself with those words because
It's
he's afraid of the
words.
denial. But why don't you just put yourself out there and get to know people, and it's going to happen naturally.
Yep.
So,
Nothing more to say with that one.
yeah.
You're right. Hi, girls. My partner and I decided to move in together, but the reality is hitting us hard, merging finances, dealing with each other's stuff, and dividing chores. We're arguing more than ever over the smallest details, like to fold clothes. We love each other, but we're not sure if the tension is normal or a red flag. Any tips for smoothing out the collaboration process? Yeah, I do apologize if I sound sick. I
Yeah.
really do.
It's
It's really
okay.
struggling here.
So, you know what? There's a honeymoon period when you move in with someone where you kind of learn each other's quirks. But regardless, there still has to be a compromise. And, you know, arguing over how you fold items of clothing is petty. And I feel like it's due to the stress of the change. One
Yep.
or both may be finding it difficult because it's different. So I would say give it a little more time, have heart to heart conversations, be there for each other. But just there is a honeymoon period where you have to just kind of get used to each other. So
And
just give it more time.
this could go on for a while, by the way, because it does happen. It's like living with your best friend,
Yeah.
like sometimes it's perfect and smooth and other times it's not, but doesn't mean it's a deal breaker. You
Right.
just have to give it time. Yeah.
Yeah. So the next one is my partner is emotionally reserved. I'm someone who loves deep, emotional conversations. My partner, on the other hand, keeps everything bottled up. They rarely share their thoughts or feelings, and I feel like I'm dating a mystery novel without a final chapter. I don't want to pry or nag, but I'm yearning for more closeness. Is there a gentle approach to help him open up emotionally? You know, this could be due to wounding, this can be personality style, but the only way to address it is to have a heart to heart. And even still, that person may, for whatever reason, may not feel comfortable opening up. And so it's either you accept that that is how that person is, or you let it go. You let it go.
Yeah, it's if someone is that way, I know Virgos can be that way as well. Sometimes we don't show our feelings, but if someone is that way, especially a man, a lot of times that's who they are. You've got to keep in mind you can't change someone. You shouldn't be with someone if you want to change them. You can hope for more intimacy. People do change over the course of a relationship. You'll change automatically, whether you believe it or not. But you can't force him to change. If you're feeling that you're nagging him or you're wanting more intimacy, maybe this person isn't the right person for you, because there are a lot of people out there who love to share deep things. I'm one of them, who want that deep intimacy, who don't like chit chat and superficial conversations. But if you're not getting there, it sounds like there's an imbalance here. And if you don't have that conversation, and it's going to continue like this.
Right.
So you really have to. Um, my partner and I started exploring separate hobbies, rock climbing for them, pottery for me. It's wonderful that we're finding new passions, but now our schedules barely match and we have fewer shared interests. I fear we might be drifting apart. How do we maintain a strong bond while still encouraging each other's personal growth? You are drifting.
Well, yeah, definitely. So the only way to save this would be to find either a mutual passion that you can share together, or you join him on the rock climbing and him join you with the pottery,
And
which
it
good
sounds like
luck with that.
good luck. Yeah, good luck with that. Yeah. Agreed.
Oh gosh.
Agreed.
All right, the next one is worried I'll never find the one. Hello, Astro Divas. I'm nearing my mid 30s and watching friends get engaged, married, or start families makes me anxious and about being single. I've tried online dating, blind dates, and even speed dating, but nothing clicks. And as I am I destined to be single forever, or is there some cosmic timing I should trust? Any advice on keeping my spirits up while continuing to search for a true connection? Let go. Stop
Stop
focusing
looking.
on the timing and worrying about it, and just love your life and do what makes you happy each and every day, and it will happen. You have held on to the fear of being alone so long that you have pushed away meeting the one. And when you don't care and you just love your life and you love you and you do what makes you happy, it will happen. Trust me. That's what I got to say.
Yeah, I agree. I empathize and sympathize with you feeling lonely, and sometimes you start to doubt if you're going to meet someone, or are you just destined to be alone. But like Tasha said, the only way to have it enter your life in the first place is to stop thinking about it and stop trying so hard.
Yeah.
You know that old expression, when you try too hard and you're doing too much, it doesn't happen.
Yeah.
So yeah, I agree.
And loving you, and it that raises your vibration that it is felt to the outside world. It's going to attract that love. When you love you, when you're in love with you, it's going to attract someone amazing into your life.
Yeah, I think she's just lonely.
Yeah.
Um, Dear Astro Divas, I love documenting my life on social media, posting travel pics, funny moments, and yes, even a few selfies. My partner says I overshare and wants me to go offline more. We've been arguing about privacy and boundaries a lot. How do we find middle ground when my social media use is part hobby, part personal expression? Oof. This is a touchy one for me, only because I have my personal judgment on this.
Yeah. Well, I would say this is due to insecurity on his part. It would be different if this wasn't something that she always did, posted pictures of travels and things that's a hobby for her. It's a hobby. If this was something new that just occurred when they got together, that would be maybe a red flag. But she's been always doing this forever. So this feels like an insecurity on his part. Maybe I don't know. It just depends on what type of reaction she's getting. But I don't think it's fair for him to insist that she stop doing it when this has been a hobby before she knew him. I don't think that's fair. I think that's controlling.
Yeah, but I don't think it doesn't seem to me that he's insisting that she stop or any of that. But I am definitely one who agrees that you should try and keep as much as your life private as much as possible. It's much healthier for a relationship. I do tend to think that the more people go on social media, and it's one thing if you're putting out a post, something funny, or you're sharing you and your husband, or you're sharing something you made, and you're doing it for yourself. But if you were constantly on social media and constantly putting out stuff, I think that's an insecurity within you and you're looking for attention. That is my personal opinion of that. So I am I will go out of my way to tell people that if you want a healthy relationship, don't make social media your thing, because it will destroy your relationship in the long run if that's who you are. But if she's just posting travel pics and funny moments, that's for her, and a few selfies. That's I do that, and a lot of people do that in the way the world is. But if you're doing it for attention, that's a different story. And there's going to be no middle ground at that point. You guys aren't going to fit or going to match, because one of you guys want your privacy, and you don't want your life on social media or public. And I understand that 100%. So I think there's not much you can do about that if that's the person you're involved with. And if you're the one who wants to just, you're doing it for fun and just, a few here and a few there, I don't think there's anything wrong with that. And he would be insecure for that, like you said.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the next one is blended family challenges. I have 2 children from my previous marriage, and I'm now dating someone who has never had kids. They're trying to be supportive, but they don't fully grasp the complexities of parenting, like schedule changes, discipline, financial priorities. I worry this gap might become unmanageable. Any pointers on making a blended family dynamic work smoothly?
It's not
So
easy, by the way.
it's not, but
Yes.
you know what? What's really important is to communicate your perspective, what it means to be a parent, what your responsibilities are from your perspective to the other person who has never had that experience of being a parent. I know because I have done this.
Yes.
And when you're open and you're honest and you can, in a mature way, not in an aggressive or rebellious way, or combative, just speak clearly and concisely, about your responsibilities. Then if they love you, they're going to find a way to compromise and make it work. Period.
That's it. That's all.
Yeah,
Tasha
that's
does
it.
this every now and then, and there is no input.
Yeah.
Um, Hi, Astro Divas. My partner suggested we open a joint bank account for shared expenses. I understand the practicality, but it feels like a big step. And I'm concerned about losing control over my finances. I get it. I also have trust issues from a past relationship where money was misused. Is there a safe way to combine finances without jeopardizing my sense of security? Yes, there actually is.
Yeah. Keep your own account and agree on a certain amount that you
A
guys will
small,
contribute
start
to
off
a
small.
joint account. Yeah.
Yeah, start off small. That's the goal.
Yeah.
Just start off small and you'll learn to trust one another. And as time
Yeah.
goes on, if you guys start to have issues, well, then you haven't put in much to lose at that point. So there's no, but as
Right.
long as you just start small, start small.
Right.
But
I
it's
agree.
wonderful. It's a wonderful way to find out, the trust, to build the trust, because we all jump in. Good.
Right. The next one is, does appearance trump personality? I've always been self conscious about my looks, acne scars, weight fluctuations, you name it. Even though my friends and partners say I'm beautiful in my own way, can't shake the feeling that physical attraction is a major factor in dating. How do I build confidence and stop worrying about not being hot enough in a world that's so image focused? This is all about loving you, finding the beautiful things inside of you, accepting and embracing even the things that society may not find or deem beautiful. You have to exude the confidence and love for yourself. And the right person is going to find you everything and a bag of chips. Trust me.
And you have to have compassion for yourself. It's clear that you have a very low perception, a low self-esteem, and you shouldn't, at that point, a relationship shouldn't be first and foremost on your mind. It should be regaining your self-worth, learning that you are lovable, you are worth it, and definitely 100%. Yes, I understand that looks in today's society are important to a lot of men out there, but it's not everything. And
Yeah.
you're beautiful, guaranteed. There's many beautiful qualities that you have that you're just not reminding yourself of. Maybe start with some affirmations daily, or writing it down, reminding yourself that you're worth it, you're beautiful, you're lovable, and you have to think you're beautiful. Yeah, we all have insecurities. It's not can't even think of the word, but
Common.
thank you. Hi, Astro Divas. I cheated on my partner over a year ago. One terrible mistake that nearly destroyed us. We decided to stay together and have been working through therapy and open communication. However, sexual, emotional intimacy still feels strained. I want to rebuild what we had, but I sense lingering resentment. How do we truly move forward and heal, especially in the bedroom?
Well, that needs to be addressed with a counselor. If you're in counseling, then you need to bring it up during counseling. And you know what? Maybe it will be healed and maybe it won't. But you need to get to the point to discover, is it something that we can move beyond? Because you don't want to spend years in a relationship that is going to constantly hold resentment. And let's face it, after a betrayal, the potential is there for someone not to be able to get over it.
And that's wonderful that you're taking accountability, and kudos to him for deciding to go through therapy and things like that. You've got a really good person there who still wants to work things out. Hopefully you're working on yourself separately as well. But there's no guarantee that it could be made better. And as far as giving you advice as to how to move forward and heal, especially in the bedroom, if he does get over it, that's going to take time. That's going to take time because he's probably reliving the moment in his head all the time.
Yeah.
His thoughts, his imagination's gone overboard, and it's just not an easy thing. And there's no quick solution for this at all, but
No.
time. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's you.
My partner loves karaoke at home, in the car, randomly, on voice notes. The problem, they want me to duet on songs I can't stand. 80s hair, metal ballads, anyone. I appreciate the fun factor, but I'm tone deaf and hate hogging the mic. How can I spare my ears and my dignity without crushing their karaoke dreams? You know, he already knows you can't sing, so I don't know
Tequila,
why he's asking you.
tequila, tequila. A few drops of tequila might help. That could be the answer. No, that would help.
I mean, he needs to respect her personal boundaries. If she don't feel comfortable, yes, that's fun to do it in private, but to push her to do it in public, it's embarrassing. That's like having me sing on a platform. That is
I know,
embarrassing.
but he's trying to get her just to let loose and be fun. And the only thing I can think of is alcohol. Not to say that I would do that, but I have to say I'm one of those people, when I get into my moods, I like to be silly and have fun. And I can understand you wanting your partner to chime in on the fun and being silly. And it's nice to be a child again every now and then. And I hate 80s metal music as well, but I love all the dance songs. I think
Right.
it'd be fun. I don't know, just give it a shot. Try. Anyways, that's my thought. I'm sorry, is it me?
Yep.
Hi, Astro Divas. My partner sets 5 alarms, each snoozed multiple times, and the earliest starts at 5 a.m. I'm a night owl who doesn't need to get up until 8. These alarm battles are creating morning chaos and grumpy moods. How do I negotiate a peace treaty without forcing them to oversleep and me to lose precious Z's? I get it. I totally
Sleep
get
in
it.
another room or wear earplugs. That's the only two
Great
options.
idea. Oops. It's a great idea, by the way.
Yep.
Yeah,
That's
AirPlugs.
it.
AirPlugs.
Yeah.
But this is supposed to, they're coming to us laughing about this. So this is, I can say I'm one of those people, maybe not now at all, but 10 years ago, I would snooze 10 times. Snooze, 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 snooze. So I get it. Absolutely get it. Okay.
All right, so the next one is they show love through over-the-top pranks. Hi, Astro Divas. I've discovered my partner's way of showing affection is through elaborate pranks, switching sugar for salt, hiding my keys as a joke. While some pranks are harmless fun, I'm starting to dread what surprise waits
Whoops.
as to rein it in without sounding like a total buzzkill. That would get on my last nerves, and I would say, you know, the fun-loving jokes are fine, but and she needs to be specific on what to her. Be upfront.
Your sound.
Hmm.
I don't know.
Out.
Yeah, you're cutting out. No, it's the connection, I think.
Can you hear me now?
It's the connection. Yeah, you're not moving.
Huh. I see you fine.
Yeah, there's something wrong with your video. Okay. Well, I'll try and redo this because you cut out really badly. Um, I've discovered my partner's way of showing affection through elaborate pranks, switching sugar for salt, hiding my keys as a joke, etc. While some pranks are harmless, fun, I'm starting to dread what surprise waits around the corner. Is it possible to ask them to rein it in without sounding like a total buzzkill? Oh, you look fine now. Yeah, of course it is. I mean, it would drive you crazy, Tasha?
It would drive me crazy. And that's why I said she needs to be upfront about what pranks she's okay with and that are not acceptable, that are crossing the line.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because when you're trying to bake a recipe that calls for sugar and you pour a cup of salt in your cake, that would make me a little miffed.
You know, the funny thing is, I know, but these are supposed to be funny, right? But you know what? Hearing you say it, you're right. It would make me miffed too. You're absolutely right. However, I do like pranks. I do like to pull the pranks. It's not so, I have a friend, and him and I were both pranksters, but it really depends on who you're with to pull pranks. Depending on the situation, if you're going to work or something, I would kill someone if they took my keys and hid them on me. I would absolutely lose it. That would be it, especially if I've got stuff to do. But every now and then, I've been known to pull some pranks and definitely like doing it with my children. So
as long as it's not overkill, or causing a lot of stress and anxiety, pretending your fingers cut off on a regular basis with fake blood. I mean, that's not fun. That's just mean.
You've got quite the imagination there.
Yeah. All right. Do you want me to do the next one since you had to redo that one? All right.
Yeah.
It says dinner disasters in the kitchen. My new girlfriend insists on cooking for me weekly, but she's truly an awful in the kitchen. Burned pasta, undercooked chicken, bizarre flavor combos. I fake a smile and a full stomach to spare her feelings, but I'm running out of polite excuses. How do I suggest cooking classes or dividing cooking duties so I don't have to sacrifice my taste buds each week? I would say, I want to do something really special for you tonight, honey. I want to help you with cooking. I want to cook a meal for you. I would go ahead and enroll her in a joint couples cooking class and make it out to be a beautiful gift. I know how much you love cooking, so I thought it would be a great opportunity for us to go to cooking class together. It would be something fun. And I don't
So
think
are you saying that you shouldn't tell the person, by the way, you're a horrible cook?
No, I think he should go out around the bush and back again, and he should give her a gift that keeps on giving, a shared cooking class.
But what if she doesn't want to take a cooking class?
Then he needs to be honest. You suck at cooking. It's horrible. I mean, try it the nice way first.
Yeah, you've got to be nice about it. You just got to do it as gently and as possible and say, yeah, you don't have a choice. Guilty of K-pop dance obsession. I started dating someone who's so into K-pop. What's K-pop? They spend hours learning the choreography. They've roped me into practicing these complex routines, and I look like a flailing octopus. It's fun, but also mortifying when they want to perform for friends. Any gentle way to say that I'm not a backup dancer and still support their passion for boy band moves? Well, I think it's really cute that you actually think it's fun and you're mortified. And you're not a backup dancer. Well, I think you should just continue.
I would just come out and say, look, you are amazing. I think it's great that you do it, but I can't do what you do, but I would support you and I would be there for you and I would love every minute of it, but you don't want me stepping on toes and embarrassing myself because I'm not as good as you at it. So
yeah, cute. That's very cute.
So the next one is, my partner is a pun master. I love a clever pun here or there, but my partner puns at every possible moment. Think let us celebrate and love when we open the fridge. it's cute until the 50th pun of the day. How do I maintain my sanity without raining on their comedic parade?
It would drive me nuts.
It's
Drive me nuts.
it's who he is, but if you
It's
don't feed energy into it, maybe he will get the silent hint. I'm not interested in the pun.
I agree with you, though. It's probably who he is.
Yeah.
And you either love that kind of personality or you don't. I don't like someone who's always making a joke or turning everything you say into a joke. I don't like that, even though I love to laugh and be silly and all of that. I have my moments too, but it would drive me crazy. Yeah. How do you maintain your sanity without raining on their actually you won't. You probably need to say, look, honestly, can you just cool it with the zings and the little
Yeah.
could you cool it? Because it's actually annoying me. Because you're just going to keep getting annoyed.
Right.
That's in my experience. Hi, Astro Divas. My partner's love language is touch, lots of it. Hand holding is fine, but they cuddle up to me in the grocery line, attempt cheek kisses while I'm driving, and basically treat me like I'm a big giant teddy bear. I adore them, but sometimes I just want to breathe. How can I request personal space without hurting their affectionate heart?
Just be honest and say you don't feel comfortable in private spaces. Hand holding is good, but the physical intimacy, kissing or that kind of thing that you don't feel comfortable with, say, it's just not how I like to express in public. And I'm sure they'll be willing to compromise.
Yeah, but is this the way it started out? Um, were you okay with that at the beginning and you're not anymore? Because it sounds to me that, like, this is who they are, whether it's a female or male, I'm not sure. But it sounds like this is who they are. They're touchy-feely.
Right.
And yeah, so that would have to you have to say something. And if it's not you, then maybe this won't work out. Because some
Right.
people really, really love to be touchy-feely like that. And little gestures of intimacy in public aren't it's not a bad thing, but some people really don't like it. Okay, it's you.
Oh, I was just reading it. It says, my partner uses baby talk as a default communication style, from calling me Pookie Wookie to describing dinner as nummy nums. It's cutesy, but also a bit ridiculous. Every conversation feels like we're in daycare. Help. Is there a playful way to use your grown-up words, please? Yes, that's exactly what I would say. Use your grown-up words. I would, if he wants to be that way, then maybe certain time, like intimacy, if he wants to do that. But day in and day out, it would be annoying. It would feel like some sort of weird fetish or something. I don't know. I wouldn't feel comfortable with it. I wouldn't like it.
Everybody has to realize, and first of all, we're all guilty of this, but everybody has, like, fire signs, Aries, Leo, Sag, they are the fun, the doers, the action takers. Water signs, they're a lot of them are touchy-feely, very, very gooey, gushy, very, feeling. And then you've got earth signs that don't show a lot of feeling at all. It's so dependent on your whole chart, and that we all have moments of doing things. All have moments. It might be not be your core, but, like, I'm not going to call you, oh, sweet gooey lovey bear, all the time. But I definitely have my moments where I'm calling my little cat, hi baby, hi,
Right.
things like that. So, oh, you little sweet thing.
But constant baby talk is a little weird. It's just a little weird. Constantly. I mean, I call Mark big booty Judy. That's what I call him, big booty Judy. But that's not constant, I don't constantly say stuff like that.
But everybody's got their thing, right? Like, come on, everybody's got their thing. Okay, so we've only got 2 left. We've all seen those couples who wear matching t-shirts at theme parks, right? My partner does that. By the way, I hate that. But anyways, my partner does that daily. I opened my closet and found they bought identical outfits for us to twin at random outings, like grocery runs or movie nights. Is it too harsh to draw a line on coordinated wardrobes so I don't feel like we're in a family photo shoot 24/7?
I mean, just come out and say it. But I mean, I don't really understand. I understand children dressing their children with them so that they don't get lost. But what are the adults doing? Are they afraid that one is going to get lost, and the only way they're going to recognize their partner is that they have the "We're Together" T-shirt? What is that about? I don't understand that.
I think it goes back to people who have to have in their house like every Spider-Man thing you can think of, or we've got to wear the same shirts, and no, I'm not being nice. What's good for you is good for you, and if it's not good for the other person, then you should have the conversation. Unfortunately,
be honest.
Yeah.
So the last one is who gets the best pet name? My partner and I have silly nicknames for each other, but now we have invented new ones that get more ridiculous. Snuggle Honey Goat Cheese was last night's gem. It's turning into a weird competition of who can top the other's nickname. How do we dial this down before we become an inside joke laden couple that nobody else can stand to be around? Well, don't do it in front of other people. Do it with each other only. That's what I would say. I think it's funny. I
think you guys are made for each other. You're made for each other.
Yeah, I think it's amazing.
Yeah, I agree.
Just don't do it in public. You do it at home, and then you don't have to worry about other people, judging you. Which who cares anyway? Who cares about judgment?
Yeah,
be yourself.
Yeah,
be yourself.
I agree. Well, on that note, that's all we have for today. We kind of zipped through these like we've never done before. But we're hoping that everyone has a good January, and that you do take a look at Astrodipity and sign up, even if it's for the week. Get to know your chart, get to know about these things. And if you have any emails that you want to chat about, or maybe you want to come on as a guest, let us know at astrodivas at astrodipity.com. And we would certainly love that. And if you want to come on as a couple, we'd love that too. That would be a lot of fun.
And happy Wolf Full Moon. It's today.
Is it?
Yes.
And what does that mean?
The Wolf Full Moon, it's the first full moon of 2025. But I don't really know it's all about new beginnings. Anytime we have a full moon, I always feel like it's about new beginnings, releasing the old, starting fresh, new things. So yeah, you have to do some research on that if you're wanting to know more information, but it's a wolf full moon and it's today.
Oh.
Oh.
Yeah. All right, guys. Well, anyway, so bye from both of us. Bye from Cass, and we'll see you next week. Bye, guys.